Despite the absolutely insane number of platforms the James Bond franchise has appeared on, many have a soft spot for his Nintendo outings, particularly his famed Nintendo 64 outing, GoldenEye 007. Bond has featured in many more since. We saw 007 on the GameCube and DS. The Wii even received a reimagined version of Rare's classic. 007 Legends, marking Bond's debut on the Wii U, is no GoldenEye 007, however. That might sound obvious, but it is a game of alarmingly low quality. Not even Jaws could save this one. Both a loose tie-in for Skyfall and a celebration of 50 years of Bond, Legends follows the British spy near the beginning of Skyfall, where he is accidentally shot by friendly fire. While he recovers in the film, 007 Legends sees him experiencing flashbacks to his earlier missions, in a presumably comatose state. These flashbacks see you reliving events from Goldfinger, Moonraker, License to Kill, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Die Another Day, and Skyfall, albeit with Daniel Craig replacing the respective original Bond actors. With more than 20 to choose between, everyone has their preferred installments, but you can't help feeling most of these are B-rate choices. How can it be fun playing through the goofiest Bond, the one which kills Brosnan's career as the super spy, and the most polarising Bond film to date?
Goldfinger, do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die.
Needless to say, it feels like it was chopped together, but sadly this is the least of the game's problems. Rather than capturing the spy-centric flavour of these films with tactile and taut approaches, it often boils down to Call of Duty Bond. Do you remember the slow-mo breaches, minigun segments, and relentless gunfights with respawning enemies until you progress? No, because that is the furthest from what a Bond product should feel like. At its best, it's a relentlessly flaccid shooter that never escapes generic mediocrity. At its worst, it's an oft frustrating and noisy sludge. Stealth is even worse, often suffering from buggy AI that makes segments far harder than they should be, especially when some require you to be undetected. When you're not shooting, the game somehow gets worse. Tedious vehicle sections are the worst offender, with awful controls combined with irritating blockades that stun you, often causing you to lose the target you're pursuing. When you add in shooting guards, it becomes downright infuriating. Less tedious but duller are the fisticuffs you engage in with guards, seeing the game descend into a bland series of QuickTime events with noticeably ugly button prompts. Other obstacles appear in the form of vanilla hacking minigames, ensuring any sense of pace is stopped dead. Sections which should be awesome recreations of the movies, such as the downhill chase on a snowy mountain, become irritating imitations of these oft classic movie moments.
No. All this for my friend.
But most offensive is the absolute lack of care in the presentation. The game is a technical nightmare, often unable to maintain a smooth frame rate, and even dropping below 10 frames per second despite being on 8th gen hardware. This hurts more when nothing looks particularly spectacular either, with bland, dully lit environments and repetitive, ugly character models. Shootouts certainly become more challenging when the gameplay runs akin to a slideshow, and some QTE segments become next to impossible due to slowdown affecting your input. The music is generic Bond bombast, the acting is dire, especially the sleepy sounding Daniel Craig knockoff, and the guns sound closer to pea shooters than powerful weapons. It feels aesthetically lame all around. All of the above is a shame, because actually, 007 Legends is mostly a fully featured game. You can breeze through the campaign in a few hours, but there's also a challenge mode that tests your skills in specific scenarios. Earning stars is achieved through better performance on aspects such as stealth and combat. There is also local and online multiplayer, with a variety of modes carried over from GoldenEye Reloaded. Sadly, the latter can be crippled by lag, and issues with performance and shooting still remain. But for the masochistic, you can unlock classic Bond characters such as Jaws and Pussy Galore by finding collectibles in the campaign. Sadly, that involves playing the woefully inept single player. "007 Legends should have been a celebration of 50 years of Bond, letting you relive a myriad of classic scenes. Instead, you're forced through a game blundered by a multitude of issues. Bad gameplay, worse technical issues, and almost no mechanical identity with this beloved franchise make this one to avoid. It sits at the lower end of the Bond spectrum, making middling outings like Tomorrow Never Dies look reasonable by comparison. Even if you are a die-hard fan of shooters or Bond, stay very far away from this one. It's shaken, stirred, and shockingly subpar."
Your contact, NSA agent Giacinta Johnson, checked into the Ice Hotel 45 minutes ago. She's waiting to brief you on the mission in the Ice Bar. You'll need to find her.